I guess you could say that I would like to second what Senator Mallett said a few minutes ago. When I started in agriculture more years ago than I'd like to think, there were very few women involved in agriculture. During my lifetime, I guess you could say that I would like to second what Senator Mallett said a few minutes ago. When I started in agriculture more years ago than I'd like to think, there were very few women involved in agriculture. During my lifetime, that has completely changed, and it is because of people like Jerri Lephiew that has brought this about. It's been my pleasure over the years to work with Jerri and get to know Jerri. And yesterday, I had the privilege of flying back on a very long flight with my wife. And I asked my wife, I said, I want you to tell me about Jerri, because she worked with Jerri as Master Gardener over in Washington County. And if you are not familiar with the Troy and Dave show, I would like to invite you to tune in. This morning we missed Jerri being on the radio, but folks, Jerri's got that personality that comes along once in a lifetime. I don't think she ever got a stranger. And she makes people just feel at ease. And that in and of itself, when dealing with young people, when they feel like they can walk up to you and ask you a question, and you won't be shy about giving them an answer, or you'll give them an answer, Jerri is very dedicated to that. And I'd like to share a couple of comments. After all these years of being a Master Gardener, I realized that there was so much about Master Gardeners I did not know. The person that made that comment made it based upon their experience with the tonight's recipient, Jerri. There hasn't been this much action going on in the Washington County Extension Office in years, which tells me Jerri gets out there and drums it up. And by drumming it up, an extension agent is a very special person in a community. There are 75 extension agents in this state. An extension agent's job is to communicate. And tonight's award recipient is one of the best communicators I have ever known. If she has to get on the radio, or if she has to encourage young people to go to an event where she has to drive, she will do that. She is dedicated to improving our youth and to improving our community. If there's a bug in your vegetables, who do you call? You call Miss Jerri. I would like to share another comment. I think about our kids going to District Iran all the time. That was something those kids needed. I know they will never forget that. The lives that she impacts are the future of agriculture for tomorrow. Agriculture is very important because we all love to eat. But we need people who can communicate agriculture's message to the world. And I submit that Jerri is one of those people. Because in 2013, Jerri was nominated by her peers to receive a Career Achievement Award from the National Association of County Agriculture Agents. I didn't say local or state. I said national. That's nationwide, friends. As an active member of the Arkansas County Agricultural Agents Association, she is the Agriculture District Officer, or she is the Washington District Officer. She has received multiple state communication awards, and she is currently serving as the committee chair of the National Communications Award Team Newsletter Judging Team. I submit to you, there is not anyone better at communicating agriculture's message than tonight's recipient, Jerri.
I want to express my appreciation Growing up on a small farm northwest of Waldo, between Beach Creek and Trickham, if you know where that's at, and some people here do, I was almost like an only child, as my two brothers and my sister were much older than me. My father was my best friend, and I remember as a small child walking through freshly plowed fields with him, attempting to step in each footprint he laid before me. As long as I can remember, I was taught how important the farm and agriculture is to my life. That experience and knowledge has driven me to make my life's work sharing that very principle with others. It has been a compliment to my beliefs to become a county extension agent. When the Cooperative Extension Service came into being 100 years ago this year, President Wilson called it one of the most significant and far-reaching measures for the education of adults ever adopted by the government. The Smith-Lever Act stated that the Extension Service could diffuse among the people useful and practical information. What better purpose could any occupation have other than helping people? In 1914, Columbia County was agricultural mainland. Much of the county was in cotton fields. The good agricultural practices extended, as Seaman Knapp, the father of extension, would put it, provided Columbia County with the expertise to eventually establish the Magnolia Cotton Mill, which we know today as Zodiac Aero Elastomer America, or I think a lot of people still call it Amfuel. How many of you out there know someone that has worked in that facility over the years, has had a relative or know someone that works there now? That facility began from agriculture. Although the cotton fields are now mostly grown into timber, agriculture is still more at work in Columbia County than many people realize. From poultry in various forms to cattle to the landscape and timber industries, agriculture is quietly and modestly supporting the backbone of our daily lives. Here in the 21st century, agriculture is becoming as important as it has ever been. As the cost of doing all business rises, so does the cost of feeding our families. More people every day are starting backyard gardens, cultivating fruit, and using animals to help secure the future for their families. That's where I and a qualified force of other agents and specialists come in, supplying research-based information to help the good people we serve be successful in their endeavors. As I said before, what better purpose could any occupation have other than to help people? It's an honor and it's a privilege to serve the people of Columbia County. My hope for the future is great, and I wish to make that contagious. Just as our ancestors have persevered over the last 100 years, I believe together with the resources we have here in Columbia County, we can have the tenacity to persevere through the next 100 years. Thank you so much.